The movie Happy Gilmore, the New England Patriots, the TV show Dexter. What do all three of these things have in common? They are great comebacks, meaning at one point in time, the things I just mentioned, they were down bad. People were looking at them like it was over. There was no chance for them at all. And they make a fucking comeback and secure the W. So that's what this video is about today. Tony Has Died, will be telling you the top 10 comebacks in MMA history. Now, before I start the video, I do want to say this. I am starting to feel a little sick. If you couldn't tell from yesterday's video, I was swallowing a lot. That's because I feel like my throat is closing up on me right now. So if I sound kind of funny in the video, just make sure to roast me in the comments, bro. But don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. And let's start off with the honorable mentions. The first honorable mention I got is Alexander Volkov versus Derek Lewis. So in this fight, Volkov came in on a 6-fight win streak, including the former champion Fabricio Verdum. And he was lined up to be a serious title contender for, I'm pretty sure Daniel Cormier was the champion at this point. Or, yeah, it was DC. So he was lined up to be a serious title contender. And Derek Lewis, he'd been known for his knockout power forever, but he had been struggling with, like, conditioning. And everyone knew that Volkov basically had every advantage in this fight. And in rounds 1 and 2, Volkov dominated this fucking fight. Most of the fight, he used his jabs, his kicks, and he just tore Lewis up, absolutely destroyed him. Round 3, Volkov was cruising to a clear win. He was still just fucking up Derek Lewis with ease. But with just fucking like 15 seconds left in the fight, Derek Lewis just unleashed the overhand Hail Mary and fucking slept Volkov out cold. So that's the first honorable mention. The next honorable mention I want to talk about is Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler 1. So the story with this one is that Khabib retired and there was a vacant belt at lightweight, right? And for some reason they didn't do Poirier versus McGregor as the vacancy belt because they still thought that maybe Khabib would change his mind about retiring. So they did, for some reason, Poirier versus McGregor wasn't the vacant belt. But basically, Khabib retired. Chandler was new to the UFC. He just knocked out Dan Hooker. Oliveira was on an 8-fight win streak. He was known for his submission game, but he had some striking as well. Everyone knew Oliveira had striking, but people kind of saw him as someone who had beaten a couple of bums on the come up, right? Like he got Tony, and I'm pretty sure he got like Kevin Lee, who was on a couple of losing streaks as well. So a lot of people were seeing Oliveira as a big underdog. Chandler's new to the UFC, and he has the power, and Oliveira gets dropped a lot, right? So round 1, Oliveira comes out sharp, right? But Chandler landed a huge shot on Oliveira, and a lot of other referees would have stopped that shit, bro. But Oliveira showed composure, and he survived. Round 2, just 19 seconds into round 2, everything fucking flips on his shoulder. And Oliveira just lands a clean left hook, has Chandler fucking running away from him full speed. This is the classic Michael Chandler now. It's just running away with zero defensive capability. But Chandler runs away, trips, Oliveira swarms in, lands a couple ground and pound shots, comeback W for Oliveira. And the last honorable mention I want to talk about is Stipe Miocic versus Alistair Overeem. So basically, this was Stipe's first title defense, and Overeem, he was like seen as someone who should have been champion at one point, right? Like he had all of the accolades. He was the fucking K1 champion, the Strikeforce champion. He was the Dream champion. I don't know if he was a Pride champion, but he had some really good, he had some good fucking W's in Pride, right? And Stipe just won the belt off of Fabricio Verdum, who I'm pretty sure he got knocked out kind of being dumb in swarming Stipe. Like he just ran straight at him and got knocked out. Not that that wasn't like what Stipe did, but I'm just saying Fabricio Verdum had a dumb game plan going into that fight, right? But basically, Early on, Overeem dropped Stipe cold, like cleanly dropped Stipe with a left hand. Jumps on Stipe, and instead of doing ground and pound, he goes for a fucking guillotine. And it was deep. Don't get me wrong, bro, but Stipe escaped it. And then once Stipe escaped, he fucking just used his wrestling, pressure forward, and then he just started landing fucking shots. Drops Overeem, and with only 3 seconds left in the round, knocks out Overeem with ground and pound. It was brutal as fuck, and Stipe won the fucking fight. And he goes on to be one of the greatest champions of all time, but he faced a lot of adversity early into that round. In the post-fight interview, Stipe was like, blah, 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 my hopes and dreams, blah, 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 blah. You know, it was a very touching moment, but yeah. But let's start with the list. At number 10 on my list, I got Ilia Topuria versus Jai Herbert. So Ilia Topuria, he was an undefeated featherweight prospect at the time. Jai Herbert, he's kind of known as a journeyman, had decent striking. This is his home crowd, right? Pretty sure this was on short notice for Ilia as well. But Herbert started the fucking fight perfectly, and he landed a head kick that dropped Ilia badly. And dude, this head kick, people today still bring up this head kick when analyzing Ilia Topuria fights. They're like, bro, he got hit with the head kick from Jai Herbert, man. But Ilia showed insane toughness. He even survived the follow-up shots that Jai Herbert landed on him. Round 2, Topuria adjusts, and he just backs Jai Herbert up against the cage and folds him with one of his best knockouts in his entire career. Just like aesthetically, I'm talking about like if we're just based on the knockout, not based on like the resume. I honestly think this is probably his most brutal knockout. Like the Oliveira one was brutal. The Volk one was brutal, but this one was his most brutal. Herbert just collapsed instantly, and it was fucking over. So, yeah, this is definitely a comeback that needs to be fucking mentioned. And, you know, despite, you know, people still talk about Jai Herbert dropping Ilia today. Every time you talk about the fucking Jai Herbert fight, they're like, this dude dropped Ilia, and then he'll just get like 30-27. So, yeah, Jai Herbert versus Ilia is number 10 on my list. At number 9 on my list, I got Merab versus Umar. And I see this as one of the greatest comebacks of all time. I know this is probably a controversial take, but I think that early rounds, I think Umar was like this close to winning the fucking fight. Like literally just an inch away from winning the fight. But Merab, he put on the heat when he needed to. So Umar won rounds 1 and 2, came out strong, showed really impressive striking, stuffed all the takedowns of Merab, shucked him off, even wobbled Merab early. But round 3, Merab decided to lock the fuck in and showed why he's the greatest bantamweight of all time. And he outworked Umar, made Umar fucking tired as fuck, starts emoting on him. Apparently Umar had a broken hand or whatever, so people say, bro, the reason Umar lost is his hand, but I think that Merab would have won this fight anyways, because I don't think it was the broken hand that really was the problem for Umar. I think it was the cardio. Merab broke Umar with the cardio. We started emoting on him, obviously, I just said that, but he won round 3, 4, and 5, landed better shots, and he barely won round 5 as well. So I definitely think like he was down 2 rounds, and he needed to win the next 3 to win the fight, and he did it, bro. And in the fight, he actually broke GSP's takedown record as well. And this was a crazy fight, so I have to mention this fight at number 9 on my list. At number 8 on my list, this is a little sneaky pick. This is me showing that I'm a real hardcore fan. I watch the sport. I'm not just watching main events. I gotta include some prelim bangers, bro. But yeah, basically, Sumudaerji comes out in this fight early and just like basically knocks out Matt Schnell. Like, there's no way. Like, Matt Schnell got fucked up so bad in the first round. And everyone was like, holy shit. Like, how the fuck is Matt Schnell even in the UFC? And he was getting fucked up bad, bro. But then he just threw up a fucking triangle choke in the second round. Locked it in after he was getting beat up in the second round as well. But he was slowly started like mounting pressure back towards himself. But he throws up a fucking triangle choke and puts Sumudaerji out cold. It's a badass picture. He's like covered in fucking blood. And yeah, man, this fight was fucking, it was crazy as fuck. Sumudaerji, he got put out bad. So I got to put that at number 8 on my list. At number 7 on my list, I got Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. I got Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 1. And here's why. If I'm not mistaken, Alex Pereira won the second round of this fight, but apart from that, he lost every other round. Lost round 1. Yeah, he was rocked bad at the end of round 1. Round 3, he lost. And round 4, he lost. But, Israel Adesanya became complacent. He started coasting like he does. He starts just tippy-tapping. You know how it is, bro. Like, literally just doing the same fucking bullshit where he just lands leg kicks and walks backwards. Well, Pereira starts to check the leg kicks. Checks one from Adesanya, has him hurt badly. Adesanya starts running backwards, like trying to save himself. Pereira starts unloading shots on him. Boom, boom, boom. Throwing crazy combos up against the fence. Gets Adesanya bad hurt. And a lot of people like to call this fight an early stoppage, bro, but I think that Mark Goddard legitimately saved Israel Adesanya's life because Pereira had him wobbled up against the fence. He literally just had his hands down by his side. 2 more seconds, and Adesanya would have been put out cold. Now, I would have liked to see it actually happen because, like, this is a fucking championship level fight. Why are we doing, like, questionable early stoppages? Like, let him go out like a fucking warrior. Let him go out cold. Let him obtain brain damage. He knows what he signed up for. But jokes aside, I think that this is definitely one of the best comebacks of all time because of the story behind it. The fucking 2-0 in kickboxing, the shit talking on the build-up, the, like, just the aura in the rivalry. The fact Pereira did it again, you gotta have this one mentioned, bro. At number 6 on my list, I got Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 1. So Conor McGregor, reigning fucking champion, coming off the 13-second KO over Jose Aldo. He was originally supposed to fight RDA for his fucking double champion status, but RDA pulls out with an injury, and Nate Diaz takes the fight on 11 days' notice. But the catch is, this has to be at 170 pounds. 2 weight classes above Conor's. But here's the thing. Conor is already a ginormous featherweight. He's a natural 155er. And he probably walked around 170 pounds. And so he basically just did this fight without cutting weight. And Diaz cut a little bit of weight, right? But Conor entered the fight as a massive favorite. And in round 1, it was showing because Conor came out hot, landing his left hand over and over again. Nate Diaz's face got cut open, just like every single fucking Nate Diaz fight ever. I swear to God, you can hit this dude with one jab. He'll look like he's been through a whole fucking war. It's kind of the same, this is a kind of an off tangent, but I feel like Nate Diaz and Islam, they both take like a couple of punches and they just start swelling up bad and get cut. I guess it's a scar tissue or whatever, but Nate Diaz was cut badly, right? And Conor was in control of the fight, but Nate Diaz survived, right? Round 2, Conor begins to land bigger punches, but he starts to fade, bro. Like, his power is not landing as much. And halfway through round 2, Nate Diaz connected with a 1-2 combo that rocked Conor badly. The momentum swung dramatically. Conor shoots a fucking desperation takedown, and Nate Diaz easily reverses it, gets fucking mount, secures a rear naked choke. Not mount, but he takes his back, gets a rear naked choke, and Conor tapped. He tapped like chicken. Brother. So, definitely one of the craziest comebacks of all time. Submitted Nate Diaz as a fucking street legend. Obviously, the rematch showed Conor showed levels in Nate, but yeah, man, this fight was insane. One of the rematch is fucking insane as well. But yeah, the next fight on my list, number 5, I got Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blaydes. So basically, round 1, Blaydes is winning clearly. This is like the fact that I have 2 Derek Lewis. Like I could have put multiple Charles Oliveira fights and multiple Derek Lewis fights, but I felt that this one was justified because of just how badly Blaydes fucked up Derek Lewis in the first round. He literally outstruck him like 30-5, bro. Lewis did not land a single good shot in the fucking first round. And Blaydes just was destroying him, right? But for some reason, in round 2, Curtis Blaydes decides to shoot a takedown to close the distance. And Derek Lewis kind of just knew it was coming, threw a fucking uppercut, and put him out cold. And followed up with the fucking most brutal ground and pound strikes. Herb Dean was like 6 business days away. And he had to like fucking full sprint to stop this shit. I feel like Blaydes' stutter got like 2 times worse after this shit because those ground and pound shots were not necessary at all from Derek Lewis. But yeah, man, Derek Lewis, he is the comeback king killer, man. He is a comeback king warrior because he'll fucking he just analyzes he does the analyzing the data. You know, when anyone's losing in a fight, they're just analyzing the data. And that's what he was doing, bro. Just simply analyzing data. He was just getting the data to find Curtis Blaydes' shot. But yeah, this fight needs to be mentioned. Number 5 on my list, Blaydes versus Lewis. Number 4 on my list, I got Pat Barry versus Czech Kongo. This is like the fight that your fucking uncle puts on at the fucking the fucking cookout. Be like, let's watch some backyard brawling. Let's watch some Czech Kongo versus Pat Barry. Now, this isn't the first time Pat Barry was fucking someone up, right? He was like destroying Czech Kongo, and if Mark Goddard was in the cage that night, this shit would have been stopped a lot sooner. Like the fact that he basically got knocked out cold twice, and it didn't get stepped in because I guess Mergliata just felt bad for Czech Kongo or something. I don't know, but he hurts him another time, and then he tries to swarm in, and Czech Kongo just lands like a fucking check hook on Pat Barry and puts him out cold. Rose Namajunas was crying in the corner. Pat Barry got slumped, bro. But honestly, this fight's kind of bullshit because it should have been stopped like 3 times. But they just let people. This is back in the day when men were men, and you were just able to go out there, Don Fry style, and just throw some fucking hands. Like this is like the definition of like. This is autistic. This is why the senators were looking at the UFC like this shit should be illegal, you know? So yeah, number 4 on my list, Pat Barry versus Czech Kongo. And number 3 on my list, I got Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva. Now, despite what many of you people are going to say in the comments that Chael Sonnen never lost, 50-0, I definitely didn't see Chael Sonnen get subbed twice last night in the span of 3 minutes. What was he thinking? Like, why would I feel like Craig Jones should have played with him a little bit, tried to do something a little bit. I mean, I guess a buggy choke is actually a very complicated submission. So, kudos to fucking Craig Jones, but Chael Sonnen, he thought that shit was just he thought shit was sweet. He thought it was a wrestling match, but Chael has always had weakness to submissions, as we're about to find out, because basically he dominated this fight, every aspect of this fight. Anderson Silva tried to get takedowns on him. He couldn't. He was trying to outstrike him, dropped Silva twice, hurt Silva bad. He was coasting his way to a decision in the 5th round. Anderson Silva throws up a fucking triangle Hail Mary, catches Chael in it, and he taps, man. He tapped out. And this was the moment that was going to make Chael Sonnen's entire career. And I feel bad for Chael because I hear him cope about this fucking fight all the time, bro. Like, I remember someone was doing like their top middleweights list, and they had Anderson Silva at 1, and I remember it was like, I think it might have been DC. Chael was like, DC, how can you not include me? I was 30 seconds away from beating this guy. And he was, man. He was 30 seconds away from beating the GOAT of middleweight, but he didn't beat him, bro. And it showed really in this rematch that it was just an off night for Silva because Silva absolutely destroyed Chael in the rematch. But, yeah, man, one mistake, it's all it takes, bro. And Anderson Silva showed Chael Sonnen that when he choked him out with the fucking with the fucking triangle. So, yeah. At number 2 on this list, I got Yair Rodriguez versus the Korean Zombie. People don't talk about this fight enough. This was literally... People talk about the Max Holloway versus Gaethje. This is that, but like 15 times on steroids. And nobody talks about it loud. Nobody talks about... Listen, this is like Max versus Gaethje on crack, bro. Because not only... Like with Max versus Gaethje... Max was already winning. He was better than Gaethje on the feet. Gaethje had to do the fucking point down because he was down on points, and it was his only way to win. And people talk about, like, Max, he's badass. Like, this, Yair did it, and he won. But yeah, Chan Sung Jung just immediately starts walking down Yair with jabs, combos. Yair's using his kicks, especially the fucking low kicks and body kicks to keep the distance, land clean counters, but Korean Zombie clearly wins round 1. Round 2, Korean Zombie continues like walking forward, landing better punches on Yair. Yair kept having to reset. He was doing some flashy shit, bro, but the flashy shit is all cool, but when Korean Zombie's like consistently landing on you, I feel like, Korean Zombie won round 2. Round 3, Korean Zombie, he starts to get hit a little bit more. Yair picks up his output, starts doing some things a little bit more conventionally, right? But honestly, I still score that round for the Korean Zombie because he still landed better shots on fucking Yair's face, right? Round 4, Yair starts strong, starts landing fucking kicks. His pace increases, and yeah, Korean Zombie still lands a bunch of good shots, but I gave this round to Yair. But there's honestly an argument that Korean Zombie could have won this round as well. But round 5, fucking entering the final round, Korean Zombie is winning the round, so all he has to do is just back up. But both fighters decided to just swing down in the middle, and Yair lands a perfect up elbow on the Korean Zombie and collapses him with 1 second left. And Yair won the fight with 1 second left, bro, when he was down 3-1, in my opinion. So, I mean, either way, you could have it 2-2 for Yair, or you could have it 3-1 for... Either way, if Korean Zombie was winning the 5th, if he just backed up, he wins the fight. But instead, boom, Yair sleeps the Korean Zombie out cold. So that is number 2 on my list, bro. Yeah, man. You got to talk about that one. And number 1 on my list, to absolutely nobody's surprise, I got Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 2. Come on, son. You need to pull it out the fire. What's wrong with you, son? Fucking Leon, bro. Despite the fact that this started like the worst championship fucking run in the whole fucking UFC, the moment in and of itself, seeing Usman just seconds away from tying Anderson Silva's win streak, cementing himself as probably the greatest welterweight of all time, seeing it all snuffed away in 1 second with a fucking brutal head kick from hell. Like, so round 1, I think Leon won round 1. Took Usman down. Round 2, 3, and 4, Usman clearly wins, lands better shots, does better work in the clinch, pushes Leon against the cage. Round 5, Usman decides to start coasting, and he's just kind of letting hold on, let me get a sip of water because my throat's starting to fucking swell up again. I forgot where I was, but I took a sip of water. He throws the fucking headshot, because Usman just was complacent in the 5th round instead of doing what he was doing before. The fucking ref separates him. And he puts Leon into the realm that he needs to be put in. Leon lands the fucking headshot of death. And then he It's just like a fucking moment out of a fucking movie. Lands the headshot in the last round. Starts screaming on the mic. Nobody believed in me. I lived in a fucking tin room, you know. Oh, bro, I've headshot dead. You know, dreams accomplished. Yeah. It was a crazy fucking moment. Greatest comeback of all time, in my opinion. And it would be crazy to have anything else at number one. But that will do it for the video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, I'm sorry if my voice sounded retarded.